Good evening and welcome to Boom Market Stock Show. This is Joe Srianopson, and I'm sure you guys have been waiting for me to do the live show. I'm very sorry to starting so late at 9 o'clock because at 9:15, I was actually listening to the Federal Reserve Chair and try to make sense of what the hell is going on in the market. Now, there was a couple of things that he actually did mention. I'm actually still looking at the market. I don't have any trades open, and I would not advise you to do actually to have trades open. But I'm sure you guys are selling off the United States dollar, and that is actually for now, it looks like actually a very good move to actually make. Now, today was actually quite significant. It was the first rate hike, which is about 50 basis points that the Federal Reserve moved. And that is the first hike in decades, like in 2 decades, with this magnitude of about 0.5% or 50 basis points. Now, there was quite a lot of things that he actually tried to explain. That is now the tight labor market that is actually currently happening in the United States. There is a lot of job openings, and there is quite a little, or nothing actually, people that are unemployed. So you have about 11 million jobs that are basically open, and then you have 6 million people that are unemployed. So that means that you will get wage pressure. So wages will definitely go up, and that will cause inflation. He did say that inflation is actually a bit of a concern, not a but it is a hell of a concern for the United States, and that he will have ongoing interest rates. And it's expected that on the next Federal Reserve meeting or the FOMC meeting, he will actually possibly raise the interest rates with another 0.5%. Now, that sounded very hawkish for me. That he actually said that, listen here, interest rates will go up, whether it is June and in September, and that is said with the next possible meetings, there will be at least 50 basis points hikes in the interest rates. So that for me sounded actually very hawkish, and I was thinking, okay, whoa, the dollar will start to go up. On top of that, you had basically all 10 Federal Reserve managers that basically stated that the rate hike is appropriate. It must actually happen. Some of them that voted that they needed to actually to push a higher interest rate of 0.75%. Now, with all that efforts, nothing happened. The dollar didn't go up; it actually went down. It's actually currently nearly down by 1%, and that is just for the last hour. Excuse me. Gold prices actually started to climb. It was, last time I checked, it was at 18 something. It's at 1886. And it looks like it's going to go further up. It has quite a lot of momentum. NASDAQ is up. Dow Jones is up. The market is actually all green. Now, the Fed sounds hawkish, but the market moves up. There's two things that actually is a bit of a concern for me. One was the story of China that he did explain, that the lockdowns in China is actually a problem because that causes supply problems in China and obviously across the world. And then he was talking about the war that also causes inflation. That is actually shocks to the commodity prices that is currently happening. Now, what is the big problem? What I do think is that one is the credibility of the Federal Reserve. The people just don't buy it. The thing is, the market that already bought in the 0.5% hike of the interest rates. The market already know that it's going to happen. So it's no surprise to the market. That's why everything is green. On top of that, he's still running the balance sheet. And the balance sheet will only stop in June. So which means there is still liquidity in the market, even though the interest rates are going up. So he's still pumping money into the economy, even though that inflation is actually through the roof. So there's still liquidity in the market. So that's why, for me, the market is green. It just shows that this guy is not serious by actually putting brakes on the inflation. And that's why the market is buying now, which is now the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, the gold price is actually going up because the guy is just not serious. Now, obviously, by the close of today, the market will basically end up in the green because that is what I do expect. Tomorrow, I'm sure the trend will just continue because the whole thing was of the balance sheet as well, and also the interest rates that's about to go up. We all know the interest rate will go up with the 0.5%. The market bought that already in, and that's why the market, the dollar actually went up. The market went down, which is the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, the equity market, I would say, on the commodity market, especially gold, went down because they bought in that the Federal Reserve will actually raise the interest rates. Now, they already know the story. There was no surprises. So that's why the dollar actually going down. And obviously, the balance sheet did not shrink because that is the main thing The balance sheet needs to shrink for inflation to start to stop. You can't keep on printing money when you have inflation that is running wild. That is actually quite crazy. He did something, but in all fairness, he did absolutely fuck all. So he could have just kept it. You know what? He could have just slept on. Because the main thing is just that he needs to cut the bloody balance sheet. So inflation will still be bloody high in the United States because of the balance sheet is still running. He's still keeping the market liquid. And on top of that, you have a labor market that is tight. And when you have strong labor, you get wage inflation. And he's throwing money at a problem to create more jobs, and there's nobody to do the job. Because there's 11 million job openings, and you have about 6 million people that are currently working. So for me, it's all green until tomorrow. And then tomorrow at 10 o'clock, with Unfiltered Coffee with my show, we will look at the market. Maybe it will start to change, which I doubt. I think it will be all green for now and also for tomorrow. So please be careful. Don't be greedy. Just take what you can and then get the hell out of the market. For me, it's all green, and have a lovely evening. And then I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And that is for my Unfiltered Coffee show on radio. So please don't forget that one. That's it from my side. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page, and also follow me on my radio show. That is Unfiltered Coffee on Mixler. So that is it from my side. See you guys tomorrow. Have a lovely evening.